Hi foodie friends, Jessica here. Today we are working with potatoes, which is honestly my favorite ingredient. If I could eat potatoes for the rest of my life, it would be perfectly fine. Today we're making potatoes au gratin, which is different from scalloped potatoes. Scalloped potatoes is just a cream-based sauce, whereas potatoes au gratin uses cheese too, which in my world is like the bee's knees. We're gonna be using russet potatoes, which are a starchy potato versus a waxy potato. The flesh starts off a little bit gritty, but as it cooks with that cream and cheese sauce, it's gonna get nice and smooth and creamy. Absolutely amazing. And they're even better the next day, which makes this an amazing make-ahead dish. Let's get started making the roux.
Roux is the base for almost any amazing cheese sauce. When the butter starts to bubble, go ahead and add in the flour. Whisk together until it makes a paste. When it's smooth, add heavy cream, whisking while you do this. Allow it to come to a low simmer. We are going to infuse our sauce with some seasonings and herbs. Add a bay leaf, salt, pepper, onion, and garlic powder to the mix and let it simmer so it can soak in all of those delicious flavors. Turn off the heat and whisk in your cheese. Keep whisking until all of the cheese is melted. Next, start working on your potatoes. I like to wait to do my potatoes until I'm just about to bake them because they oxidize and turn brown. They're perfectly fine to use, but they don't look as pretty. If you want to make them ahead of time, soak them in a bath of ice water and put them in the fridge. This prevents oxygen from getting to them and thus will prevent them from being brown. Making au gratin potatoes is dangerous business. It means using a Y peeler and, in my case, a mandolin slicer. It is really important to get even slices of potatoes so that the potatoes au gratin cooks evenly while it is in the oven. Make 2 layers of potatoes in your desired pan. I'm just doing basic lines here, but if you want, you can get super fancy and make your potatoes into all sorts of fun shapes and patterns. After you've made 2 layers, go ahead and ladle on this silky cheese sauce. Don't worry about getting it even because as it bakes, that cheese sauce is going to seep into every nook and cranny. Top that layer with 2 more layers of potatoes and then the rest of the cheese sauce. Cover the potatoes super tight with aluminum foil. Pop it in the oven and bake it for about 60 minutes. I know that seems like a lot amount of time, but you have a brick of potatoes and it's going to take a while for those to cook all the way through. After 60 minutes, remove the baking dish and take off the aluminum foil. It's time to add more cheese. We all know how much I love cheese. Add a nice helping of cheese to the top of those potatoes and pop them back in the oven for another 10 to 20 minutes or until the cheese is nice and bubbly.
It's hot. There is nothing better than hot bubbling cheese. We'll come back to slice it up. I'll see you in a few minutes. We've let it rest. Everything's kind of come together. And now we're gonna do the best part, slice it. However, if you've ever sliced potatoes au gratin, you know the first slice is probably the most challenging to come out of the pan. Everything after that, cake. Let's see how it goes. Woo-wee! Look at those layers. This is perfect. And if you're like me, you like the edges. There's those nice little crunchy pieces, and that just adds to the flavor. We're gonna garnish with fresh chives. You can use scallions, you can use parsley, but I like something fresh and crunchy and green on top. It adds to the texture, the flavor, but also just looks pretty. The best way to do fresh chives is actually with kitchen shears. Most people chop them, but the kitchen shears, look at this, right on top. I can do them on a bias and an angle, which makes them look super fancy, like you're at a fancy restaurant. And there you go. For some people, this is a side dish. They serve it with my pan-fried steak or pan-fried broccolini, which is super popular right now. Get the links for those in the description. I would probably eat this as just my entree. From my kitchen to yours, have a great day.